Good evening to you all from all the corners of Soweto, Johannesburg, Gauteng, South Africa, and all the hinterlands of Africa. Welcome to Sakumzi restaurant, where you can get delicious, and I mean delicious traditional food. Welcome to the Sello Maake Ncube Foundation Father and Sons conversation on GBV during the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. Fellow brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, uncles and aunts, young men and women, this is Talking Cure. We're trying to find a cure for the nation. We're trying to find a cure for all the maladies that are, the horrible things that are happening in our country, and so that we build a better society. Please follow us on our hashtags. Hashtag Sello MKN_sons, change your attitude. Hashtag Sello MKN_sons, change is possible. Hashtag Sello MKN_sons, do good to be good. Commit daily to changing your behavior. Commit daily to being a birthday for a better man that you aspire, you want to be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a guest in our studio here who basically will like to adopt as my son. We've got Monezi, Monezi Makoele, and I also got Lindo in the studio with me. Lindo, say hi. Monezi, say hi first.
Hi, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Lindo, they come with styles. But also we have our guest that we want to engage with on the topic on men and contraception. We have our guest on on virtual, and we have Dr. Gugu Ngubane. Please, Gugu Ngubane, say hi to to the viewers out there.
Good evening to the viewers. Sanibonani babukele emakhaya, and I'm happy to be in this forum. Definitely.
Dr. Ngubane, thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for making this time, and and allowing us to be, and allowing yourself to be part of these conversations that I've started having with my sons since the start of the 16 days of activism. One thing that we have been trying to do was to make sure that we handle difficult conversations. I just thought that, since I didn't have the opportunity, of discussing, heady issues with my father, I shouldn't, deny my sons the opportunity to do so. I remember, that one of the things that I would always say to them, I said, if you've got something that you feel you want to talk to me about, and you are not sure how I'm going to take it, don't keep quiet about it. And just know that that very thing that you're not sure how I'm going to take is the very thing that you should talk to me about. Yeah. And for me, it was just opening up the conversation. And now we're handling this thing about men and contraception. And, when we were growing, you pregnate a girl, and mighty, I'm pregnant, why won't I prevent? Then that, and that's the attitude that we have towards this. But how, Dr. Ngubane, can you help us and help these young men, because they're facing up to it now, and they cannot think that they don't know, because we have made it possible for them to access this information, and the two in the studio are getting it first hand. Help us, help us with our attitude towards it. Thank you, Dr. Ngubane.
No, ngiyabonga kakhulu babamake kaNcube. First, to say, as a South African black woman, mother,
yes,
to a son who's 21 in February next year, and an aunt to many, because I was born in a family where I'm the only daughter, and I've got 4 brothers. This is such an important topic, and I want to say kudos to you for leading this conversation. It is really commended. I think the first thing to talk about is what is contraception, what is contraception preventing, and what is the impact of not going on contraception. So in contraception, there are methods to prevent unintended pregnancies. And now with the STDs and HIV and AIDS, we also know that with contraception, there's also barrier methods, which are condoms. And we've got female versions and we've got male versions, which helps to prevent the STDs or syphilis or gonorrhea, HIV and AIDS, which we all know well know about. But beyond just the physical impact of preventing unintended pregnancies, when a woman falls pregnant, anything can happen. There would also be pregnancy complications that happen. Not everyone, but just preventing unintended pregnancies saves a woman's life so many times if she's not yet ready. And then when there's an unintended pregnancy at a societal level now, at a family level, or in just that relationship alone, there's then the issues of men either owning up to the pregnancy or not owning up to the pregnancy, like you said. Men will then say, how marunga preventing and yet that conversation is happening at the tail end of the issue. It's not happening at the beginning when the relationship is starting and when you are talking about the things you're gonna do in a relationship. And it just leads to so many societal problems where we have more than 60% of families headed by women. Other families, children are raised by women and the men are not there because they're not owning up to the children. Or they just don't see the responsibility that they have in raising society. So contraception then becomes a serious topic which is affected by gender-based violence. As you know, we see mostly women in our clinics, in doctors. Women seek healthcare more than men for many reasons. And when they come to clinics or come to doctors for family planning, they normally come alone, not with their partners. And we have two to tango, as we know. We don't make it on our own, except if you go for in vitro with a gynecologist. But normally, people get babies the normal way, where you have a male and a female, they come together. But when it comes to taking the responsibility of who should start the topic on contraceptives, women may start a topic, but a male may not be ready to talk about it. So I think what you are doing right now in terms of bringing in this topic, that it takes two people, it's everybody's responsibility, it's an individual's responsibility. As a man, when you're going up with a woman to be your partner, contraception should be part of the topic. We call it family planning because, culturally, I think we are promoting the morals that people should come together if they are planning a family. But we know that not everybody who has sex is planning a family. But we know that without contraception or barrier methods, there is a possibility of making someone fall pregnant. So in the same way, you are confident of expressing your undying love for this woman, for whatever reason, you must be just as confident to then bring in the topic of, are you on contraception? What contraception do you prefer? Because not all contraceptive is good for the woman's body. Okay, there are people who react to certain contraceptives because it's hormones that get injected to a person's body. And everybody reacts differently to those hormones. So a person may go into all kinds of side effects because the responsibility is so much on the woman and not on the man. And yet a man can also take the responsibility of saying, you know what, we're going to use condoms all the time. In fact, people should be using condoms all the time because of the issue of HIV and AIDS and all other STIs, because the contraceptives in terms of injectables and the oral pill and the implants, they only prevent pregnancy. But in terms of the sexually transmitted infections, the HIV and AIDS and all the other things, that you can only prevent with using a condom. And that is a topic that should be part of the conversations within a relationship. But that responsibility does not only come innately from a boy deciding that now I want to pick me up. I think there is role modeling that has to happen at a family level, and role modeling that happens at a community level as well. And I think if within a family, the topic of what does it mean to get into a relationship means, and we do not talk about the responsibilities of a boy and the responsibilities of a girl, we will never get this right. To adulthood, where women now cannot talk to their own husbands about what they prefer to use to prevent unintended pregnancies and how many children they want. We find in hospitals and in clinics, some women are even scared to come to antenatal care when they are pregnant because the husband or the partner is not allowing them to go there. Some women are scared to do HIV tests because the partner is not allowing them. So men play a very important role in a relationship. Yeah. The relationship is two people agreeing on what they want out of that relationship. But we don't see relationships working that way.
That way, yes. You know, we've got another guest who's joining us on virtual, and that's my other son. Ncube, are you there? Ncube, are you there? Are you there, Ncube? Can you hear? No, I think we've got a bad connection. We've got a bad connection. But there's my other son on the other side on virtual too. But we'll come back to that. Yes. Are you there? Are you there? Yeah? Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us on Kopoza? I see a blank expression there. But I guess, can you hear us? I see your mouth moving. Hello? Hello? I think we've got a bad connection. I think maybe let's leave it for now. Let's leave it for now, son. Dr. Ngubane, let me give the gents a chance. You hear him, it is a man. Men play a huge role in this aspect. Moniz, what is your take for it?
Right to doctor. Ngalenda ayishoyo uba abantu ababini. Ngoba thina ingxaki yethu siyathanda uzi-ignore into ezininzi. Sibelieve ba hayi uthi uyayenza uyaya ekliniki. Ngoku kwexesha likhoyo uyakwazi nobhook idate yazi bangedate ethile uye Dischem or Clicks uthatha umuntu wakho uya naye khona. You make sure uba uyenzile lento because angaphuma athi uyoyenza kanti akayenza.
Exactly, yeah.
So xa sekukhona after 6 months akuxelela uba hayi ndi-pregnant andizazi uba kanjani because benditofa ayikho loo nto. If ebeyenza loo nto leyo bengeke abe pregnant. And okwesibini umntana kune-answer ke thina esiyithandayo ngoku umntata upregnant sithi hayi asikho ready ngenxa yoba sibaleka uxanduva. Athi hayi ndicela uhambe siyomkhupha lo mntana. Kulibala into uba umntana yi-gift from God. And yinto beniyenza nobabini. Now ngoku umntana ukhona sofuna ubaleka ayihambe yedwa le ndlela. Abe khona umntana ungaveli nalapho umntana sekhona. Umzekelo kunento iskandal esenzekileyo kuveke pheleyo phakuthi elalini. Indoda ibulale umama umntana nabantwana bayo abahlanu. So kufike ntoni engqondweni uzucinga uba andide ndibulale umntana nabantwana. Khange ube namali yokondla, khange uthule nje kutya ngaphakathi. So kubalekile sibambisaneni kwimeko enje nepartner yakho. From ekuqaleni up until ekugqibeleni.
Lindo, what's your take?
I think with me, I would like just a bit of clarity, right? I think mhlambe,
speak a little louder.
I think what Ngubane is saying about, basically like speaking to your partner. But I think I'd like to bring it maybe to the times that we are living in, sort of, where, it's not necessarily having intercourse with just not necessarily your partner, but, I think nowadays...
Multiple partners.
But not like dating partners, but people that you just, maybe you have intercourse with regularly or whatever.
What do you call it?
Flings, vibes. When you're just having a vibe,
Right.
So in a situation,
you're taking those vibes too far.
But
don't be disturbed by my comment.
But in that regard, so I think I've encountered the one time where there was this lady that I was vibing with. And she was she's allergic to latex. Right? And she wasn't preventing at all. So now it came to me like I thought Tuguti, well, I mean, surely if she didn't want to have a child, she would, consider taking, but I think also it made me think Guti, it's actually mostly her decision. My decision would be to still engage or not to.
That's it. I want to pick up on the point that Lindo is making, and but why do we always make it the responsibility of a woman to prevent? Here's the situation that Lindo is finding himself in, where the girl is allergic to latex. Okay. and then now, let's suppose they're intending to get into a relationship, you know, and she's not using contraceptive. Why shouldn't we have a whatever, you know, that we can have and use? Do we have men's contraception or contraceptive pills or anything that men can use apart from the condom?
I like what Lindo is bringing in. What Lindo is bringing in reality, ne? And exactly. Reality where a relationship is not necessarily a relationship. All John is talk, you know. And when you're dealing with this talk, which is completely GBV violation, seriously, to call women stock, but that's a topic for another day. But what Lindo is bringing in is quite serious, because for me, already in the Ekuluma, I saw a few decision points that are still lying with the woman, and with the woman as well. As an individual, you have a responsibility of self-respect. What are you prepared to expose yourself to? So when a woman says, I'm not on contraceptive and I'm allergic to latex, that woman also exposing herself to behaviors of one night stand or just passing by. Surely it's either she must have latex-free condoms, because they do exist. They are they are latex-free. And Lindo, sorry Lindo, when's example now, but you raised the point. And if Lindo Usawi vibing era of your life, you have not made a decision that, you know what, I am not going to be having these occasional sexual partners, then you must be prepared as well that there will be those who are latex intolerant, and you will have to have both condoms with you. The latex free and the latex condoms. And then it's your responsibility. And because it's your engagement, it's your behavior. So take responsibility for your behavior. And if none of that is present, you still had a decision to say, you know what, then we're not doing this. Another contraceptive is your mind. It's your mindset. What you want. That's the biggest contraceptive of all. Then there will be no consequences if you prevent doing it.
But there isn't, what is it, medically, like, something that men can take.
Like an injection for men. Well, I don't know where that research went in terms of getting a contraceptive for men. But yeah, there is a contraceptive that was on research. I just not aware that it's available here in South Africa. But yeah, for now, it's really a mindset. It's the condoms, and then obviously, mangabindo tinga safunu tolabantwana, and then ukuvala.
That's it. But here's a thing that I would like to bring in, which is withdrawal before ejaculation. I will withdraw before.
Most teenage pregnancies, they happen that way because people say, "Oh no, keep up before ejaculate," and they do. Even the sperms, they swim and they find a way home, and it still falls pregnant. So that doesn't work. I mean, I think learning self-control and respect is the biggest contraceptive of all. Just respecting the other person and respecting yourself enough not to put yourself in a situation where you cannot take control of the consequences of it.
One of the things, like in our conversations, and, bringing the whole thing of men having the responsibility is on men, and there's this anecdote or, story that I've told about a carpenter who's working in a workshop, has got a small boy, and the 7-year-old is busy distracting him when he's working in the workshop. Now, to distract the boy, the father, takes, the map on the wall, throws it on the floor, tears it into pieces, gets the boy to, distract him for a while. And then later, the boy has managed to put the map together. And I think this story is worth repeating. The boy comes back to the father and say, "Papa, look, I have put the map together." Now, behind the map, there's a drawing of a man's head. And the moral of the story is that if man can get his head together, the world would be a better place to be. And we actually even spoke at length about if man looks at himself as the head of their household or whatever, but look at the physiological function of the head on the body. It carries such, and I think maybe as a doctor, maybe you might even give us a better exposition of the role of the head. We have eyes which sees vision, ears, whatever. But about the senses, how is that connection of the senses to the brain and all that? I don't know if you can maybe expound a little on that.
Okay, well, without going into the whole neurological lecture, but everything starts from the head, it starts from your mind. Yeah. What you put your mind in, you will do, and you will do successfully. And so is self-control. And if you don't apply your mind into every action that you take, you will live your life mopping out consequences on our phone. Just live your life collecting all kinds of things that you did not realize or did not apply your mind, but they have such consequences. You put your mind that you want to, you want to be fit. You decide that, I joined the 5 a.m. club, I'm going to the gym every day, at least 5 days a week, or something like that. But if you have not thought about it and you have not planned it, it does not just happen on its own that you then wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you go to the gym. Because it has to be intentional. It starts with intention, and then the behavior then follows. That is why then in the Lindo scenario, the intention must be what you just generally carry yourself wherever you go. Even when you find yourself in a situation where, oh wow, all right, there's a girl that I like here, and something happens and there's a vibe and there's a connection and then it ends up somewhere. But at that point of following your hormones, you can control how you respond to your hormones. We all have hormones, but you control how you respond to them based on how you value yourself, how you respect yourself. And whether actually, do you want to have kids that are planted all over the provinces that you visited? Because that is your. If you want to go plant your seeds everywhere, then you behave in that way. But if you have decided that I'm going to have children only within a wedlock, or I'm going to have so many children, that you can actually achieve because that's what you are intending. So it all starts in the mind. It's not something that just happens to you, it just happened. We were in a vibe. It was so nice. I was drunk. Oh, so what if you're drunk?
Here's what I like. Here's what I sometimes like. He said, I don't know what happened. One thing led to the other.
It just led to the other, You must be even also floral, with a glass and the woman comes and you're like, no, I'm sorry, I've got my wife. Because we're not talking about single men only here, even married men. It has to be in your intention that no, I'm not sleeping around, or I'm not doing this without this. Even in your sleep, your response will be the same. If it's intended, if it's here.
Yep. Your reaction.
I think I agree 100% with what you're saying. Because there's Ubaba has made what's this? I remember you always used to talk about choices, right? And sometimes you think of a choice as if it's just a yes or a no, you know, but it's a series of choices.
Yeah.
So basically, even if, let's say, I was drunk, I would have the choice, you know, to still maybe you know, to get into a room with this person or not. You know, I make that choice. I go into the room. Okay, I have the choice to take off my shirt or not. Take off my shirt. You know, I can put on my trousers, or I can just pull it up and say no, I won't engage. You pull it down. You see, so there's a series of choices that we actually leads to that, so it can never be a mistake.
It can never be a mistake, you know.
I am a mistake.
But how do we begin to have this kind of conversation that we plant these thoughts, you know, or we make even our others aware that we have to take responsibility for our actions? And I would like to hear it from you guys, you know.
Sure, it's a tough one.
Yes, I know. But I mean, imagine you've got your friend, and you see, and I'm your friend, and you see me that I'm going the other way. You know what I mean? With what you have as a series of choices that you have to make, what can you say? In closing, we left with a couple of minutes now.
So I think the nice thing about like my group of friends is that we're very honest with each other. You know. So if Ncube, let's say we're all planning on having kids when we're married, and you know we're not trying to have kids anytime soon. You know, we still have some things we want to accomplish. So if a situation like that were to happen, I would just simply remind you of, you know
what I'm getting there is that have a goal of something, and then you know that when you achieve that goal, that's the ultimate. Last words, my brother.
Yeah, but thina singamajita siyathanda ulahlekisana. Although siyakwazi ukuthi into sizawuyenza but emakhoneni ndiyenza niyi-one. But ingase inhliziyo yakho nengqondo yakho into efikayo nje kuwe xa ubona intombazana oyithandile ucinga uba uzoyolala nayo, then use condom each and every time.
Dr. Ngubane, your last words, man.
Yeah, no, thanks. I just want to say to men that accountability is also very important. If men can account to each other for their behaviors, because they do influence each other, it becomes a peer pressure kind of thing. And accounting to each other when you just call a person out but you said you will never do 1, 2, 3, and you are doing it. That will really go a long way, because some people, these things are not discussed in their families, they're not discussed at home. But if within the community it's role modeled for them and there's that kind of accountability, then we can see a change moving a long way. But more than anything, women love their men. And if you show them respect and you know them and you know their bodies, you know, you must know their cycles. When is she going on her menses? When are they finishing? When is she likely to be more sexual? That is a beautiful thing to get from your partner. So respect them and they will respect you back and be accountable.
Thank you very much. By the time is always on our side when the conversation is getting all warmed up. Well, you've had it for yourselves out there. You know, guys, it's all in the head. The biggest contraception is your mind. And coupled with that, you know, it's you have to make sure. I mean, you know, Lindo said something beautiful, that they are having goals. There are things to achieve. What are the things that you, as a young man, are aiming to gain in life, to achieve in life? And once you set that goal and you delay others, you know, maybe what I call the DG, delayed gratification, but waiting for so that you gain something that makes you to feel proud of yourself, have respect for yourself, and and that's the most important, self-respect. Well, time is always on our side, it's not always on our side, and this is time to say bye-bye, and thank you, my guests in the house, thank you, my son. Unfortunately, Nkoputsa, you couldn't get connected with us, and Dr. Ngubane, thank you very much for according us your time.
Thank you.
I, Sello Maake Ncube, am saying sayonara, goodbye.